Hello world, how's everyone out there doing? Hopefully everybody is sensational. Welcome to another episode of Generational Health and Self-Love. I'm your host, Life.
It's your boy, Ron Easy.
And today we're going to do something a little different than we normally do. We got a few lovely guests that we're going to bring in. And once they come in, I'm going to step to the side and I'm going to ask some questions outside of the view of the camera. Ron Easy is going to stay in view so he can give y'all his perspective on the topic and the things that we'll be talking about today. So hopefully y'all enjoy the show and like the switch up, and I can't wait to get into it. How about you?
Yes, sir. I think this is going to be definitely an interesting one. It's a different style of what we do, but I think the people we have coming on today definitely going to be bring a lot of energy and interesting conversations to the podcast.
And just to let you guys know what the topic is. The topic is, from a woman's perspective, dating in 2025. And we talking about young women, not 40, 45, and 50. We talking about the young ladies, because the ones that's older, like I was just mentioning, you know, if you ain't figured out by now, you probably never figured out. So we want to give a perspective from a young lady's point of view. And so with that being said, we're going to bring our guests in and we're going to go ahead and get into the show. So if y'all don't mind, we're going to start from here to there and everybody introduce yourself, your name, and we're going to get into the show.
Hi, my name is Taylor.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie.
Hey, I'm Morgan.
Okay. So today, to me, is a very, very special topic. Something that I feel like not too many young ladies talk about enough, and that's dating in this era. So the topic is, like I say, is dear to me because I have 4 daughters. So I definitely want to hear you guys' perspective and what y'all think about it, because I think it gets overlooked. With all the music and different things that's going on nowadays, I don't think the guys take the young ladies too serious, because I think a lot of them are afraid of commitment, and they really worried about what their friends are going to say if they do take their ladies serious and want to settle down, because, you know, they want to be a player. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely interested on what you guys have to say. And also, with having Ronisi up here, we have a young man in your age bracket who can also express himself from a young man's perspective and what he thinks too. And I really find that very interesting. So I don't know who want to start, but I just want to give y'all point of view on dating in this era. Mm-hmm. So you want to start? You want to start? Who wants to kick it off? I think you should go. I think you should.
No, I agree. Yes, I agree.
I think you should go first.
Okay. Personally, I feel like, as of right now, speaking, the best way I can put it into terms, it's just complicated. I feel like with our generation just being sexually misled, we tend to fixate a lot of our issues around sex, which can also, how do I say, make the dating pool a lot more riskier to hop into, if that makes sense. Because it's like with emotions, I feel like people just don't understand what comes along with that, what baggage comes along with that. And I just feel like we're just too lackadaisical with it, with this generation.
Do you feel like young men are afraid of commitment?
Yes.
And why do you think that is?
I'm finding it.
You find it's okay.
I do think it has a lot to do with the image that a lot of these young women do portray in this generation. It doesn't help with the music. It doesn't help with the media, entertainment, and all that stuff. However, semicolon, comma, these men are rapping about what they like, what they prefer, what they would like to have. So it's like, I feel like everybody's just projecting an image, but also this same image that's being portrayed and projected is also frowned upon. So it's like I said, complicated.
You're contradicting yourself.
It's just contradicting, essentially.
And speaking of, when you talk about the music, what really gets to me, and I don't think the young men are really paying attention, but a lot of the rappers that they listen to that talk about having multiple women are in relationships.
Yes.
They got a boo, but they talking all this other stuff. So it's like you listening, but are you paying attention?
Complicated.
You know, because these same rappers that they listening to, all of them, damn near wifed up.
Yeah.
But they telling you to go out and have multiple women while they sitting here with
one.
And that's what makes them money, though, at the end of the day. And I feel like people are not paying attention to the bigger picture. They're literally making profit off of y'all streaming that music. But at the end of the day, kicked up with their feet and with their lady and with their baby. 2, 3, 4, 5 of them probably. So it's like, I just feel like we just have to pay attention to the bigger picture. That's not the lifestyle to be chasing, but it's also the lifestyle that's being promoted, if that makes sense.
Okay, you want to have...
Yeah, what y'all got to say? I'm talking too much.
I definitely agree, especially with the music and the media, because essentially all of these artists, and I feel like it's not just with men, it's with women too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
These are the artists, or not even just music, even like actresses, actors, like these are people that our generation are looking up to. It's like, okay, well, this is someone I really like to listen to or watch. They want this or they want this kind of lifestyle. I probably want that kind of lifestyle too. And essentially it's just leading this generation astray.
Yeah.
It's just leading us down a very dark path. Essentially is how I feel.
Because in the same sense, it's like men talk about wanting that lifestyle, but then women that are entertaining that lifestyle or are involved in that kind of lifestyle are looked down upon. So again, it's just complicated and contradicting. So
I do. I do feel like dating in these ages is very complicated, like y'all said, with the music, the videos, like even down to like the simplest things that we watch. Like these days we watch 20v1s and things like that. The things that the girls get on there and say, the things that the guys ask, it's like, what are we even talking about right now? Like,
the balloon
like the balloon popping
that's
is
so
crazy. It's just like, to a sense, like in a sense, everybody has to grow up, because I feel like, especially when it comes down to, like we said, the music and stuff, or even how girls dress, how they act, what they say. I feel like a lot of these days, boys shame girls for those certain things, but turn around and ask for that specific thing in your partner. Right. You claim that you wouldn't mess with a girl that sings songs like that dress like that does things like that, but you not finna cuff that girl that's not doing that, though. You want your girlfriend to do that, essentially, but you bash the ones who do it. Exactly. And that makes no sense to me. Or even for females, you claim you want your boyfriend to be laid back. You don't want no boy that's doing all that, but you out here with the YNs holding the exact gun in your purse, hanging out the window. So I'm just a little confused. Like, I don't understand.
I got a good question I want to ask, and this is for all the ladies. What, dude, I get where y'all coming from, and I definitely understand. But sometimes I see young men who are not on that level as far as they really looking to have a woman. Yes. And they really want to pour into her. But sometimes young ladies, they are attracted to the same thing they don't like.
The bad boys.
Yes. And so they don't see that in him, and all the time he sees you as the world. So what happens? How does that not progress into a relationship when you have a man who thinks the world of you, who wants to be with you, but then you kind of like, I don't know, kind of, what do you think about that?
I feel like my best friend can answer that the best.
Okay. What you think about that?
I definitely think that goes back to like what we see in the media and like essentially that like bad boy narrative or perspective. It's like I feel like a lot of girls our age see it as like thrilling.
I like having a good time. And it's like, oh, we're young, like we're in our 20s. We want to have a good time before we settle down. And I feel like that's just a narrative that is portrayed. And it's like, okay, like I see this good boy, but like I'm just not ready yet. I just want to have a good time before I'm like ready to give myself to that good boy.
Okay, but I hear that, but then the man the young man that I see young ladies date, he's the total opposite.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to settle down with him. You want to be with him forever.
Yeah.
So how is it that you're not ready for him, but you want to give your all to this guy? It's kind of confusing.
I feel like a lot of the times, this is not like, the situation all the time, but I feel like some of the time it's like that bad boy was there 1st,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course that good guy comes along, but it's like you have a lot of history with that guy that's not right for you, and it's just like I just want you to be like him, but essentially I want it to be you. Mm-hmm. You're who I want to be with, but I just need you to change your life around. Mm-hmm. And you just fight so hard and hard and hard until you just can't fight no more. You just fed up.
And to piggyback off of what she's saying, I might have to clock the women's tea real quick, because I know I've gone through this myself. But I just also feel like when you've been through so much trauma with men and something good comes your way, you don't gravitate towards it as quickly as you would that trauma, because that trauma, you're used to that. Mm-hmm. You're used to feeling manipulated. You're used to those feelings, but change can sometimes be weird and be new. And some people don't necessarily gravitate to newness. So if you're seeing patterns and you're seeing men that you're used to, the bad guy that comes along that, the smooth operator essentially, then it's easier to fall into that trap rather than giving somebody with a new experience a chance, if that makes sense.
So, run easy.
No, yeah, hearing that kind of, it makes me think about like when you're trying to stop a bad habit. Mm-hmm. You know you got something better you could do, but the process of going to making that change, it takes some time. Mm-hmm. Like when you trying to say you're a smoker, or like you smoke cigarettes, but you're trying to do something a little better, like they say any alternative to smoke,
like
smoking.
Chewing gum.
Yeah, chewing gum or something.
Like that.
You might, you got the gum, but sometimes you still do the smoking. You go back and forth, but eventually, once you continue to pick that gum, the habit starts to build inside of you, and then you just naturally start to make that change. But I do see what she's saying, where like it's not always like that. It takes time, but like since we're not actually talking about breaking habits, we're talking about other people. When you're going through that process, it not only affects you, but the person that you're doing it with too. So it's like, yeah, I understand like how the habits, like trying to pick the new or the better, the good, what's good for you. But also I think that sometimes we don't realize that it also affects, like, well, I don't know. I was going to say that like the good person that's there for you, it has an effect on them the longer, or like how you treat them or whatnot over time. And then, they might not want to deal with you anymore, but, I think it's just being mindful of the situations and the things you're doing.
And then it's like in a lot of situations, people don't realize that they had something good until it's gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So it's like, just at the end of the day, both parties have to pay a price, because you saw the good in somebody, you waited along, and you seen that, okay, they would rather continue old habits. That's that. That's a pill you have to swallow, and you have to move forward and just have faith in God that you will find a new partner that's deserving of your time. But then it's like on the back end, being able to, or knowing that you passed up that opportunity, you have to live with that guilt. And now it's like you're in these repeated cycles over and over again. And it's like knowing you had something that was good right there at your fingertips. Tisk tisk, essentially.
Yeah. And what I would say to people who are going through that or been through that, you feel like you lost something, and you went through, you might have made a bad decision in your opinion, but just the fact that you acknowledging what happened is a step in the right direction. Mm-hmm. It's improvement. Mm-hmm. So even though you can acknowledge what happened, but don't let that stop you from making a better decision in the future.
Mhm.
So you might have felt like you took that L or whatever, but you actually taking the W as well because now you know. Just don't forget the lesson you learned.
Facts.
So yeah.
It's really about how you bounce back from those situations.
Definitely.
I agree.
My that cycle that we sometimes find ourselves in. A friend of mine, a young lady friend of mine, she said, "Same soul, different bodies."
Mm.
I said, "Ooh, that's deep, right?
It
Same
is.
soul,
It
different
is.
bodies." Just repeating that cycle.
Mhm.
Because I've been guilty of that myself, and that I had to understand that I deserve better. So why choose the wrong thing over the right thing?
Mhm.
It's like, what do you really feel inside about yourself? So I had to do some self inventory
Mhm.
and understand that you tripping. Just point blank, you're tripping.
Mhm.
You can't put this person inside that person's body or vice
Mhm.
versa. You just got to understand that you deserve better.
Mhm.
And so pick and choose what's right for you. And nowadays, you really have to be careful. And when you do got somebody there, you just got to learn how to build on that relationship and just understand that it don't come. I mean, it happens, but it might be another 5 to 10 years before you find somebody like this again. And you're going through that cycle. So definitely when you got somebody there that's trying to be with you and love you and just show you that they appreciate you, just understand that you deserve that. And don't continue to settle for less. That's what I would say in those type of situations. So I appreciate everybody's answer on that. That was very good. I just want to say, well, I want to move on to a couple other things. Now, we was talking about girls with daddy issues.
That's a ooh. I love that one.
Yes.
I love that topic.
Daddy issues, looking for validation.
Yes.
Who wants to speak on that?
She said she loved that one, so I think
I
she
do
should
love
go
this. I do love this topic.
Okay.
I feel like it's very personal to me because I do have two dads in my life.
Okay.
My biological dad and my dad that came into my life. I don't like to use the word step.
Yeah.
Because he's very dear to me. So.
I don't like that word.
I don't like that word. That's
Step
not my
what?
stepdad. That's my dad.
Step
too.
what?
That's my dad.
Exactly. There you go.
Be right there with
Kizzy
it.
never
Yes.
says step.
Yeah, no, I've never
It
used
is
that
always
word.
dad or
exactly.
mom.
Yes.
So how is that? How is that the dynamic?
I'm not gonna lie. I definitely gave him a hard time at first. My dad that came into my life only because it was me and my mom, just me and her for like a couple of years, and I just felt like somebody was invading my space. Like, who is this man?
Yeah.
But essentially, now we're just very close. Like that. This is my dad. So I feel like when it comes to daddy issues, my biological dad, or how dads are supposed to, teach your daughters, like, this is what you need to look for. This is how someone, like a man, should be treating you.
Yeah.
I didn't get that from my biological dad. I got that from my dad that came into my life, spoke life into me. This is your worth. This is how someone should be treating you, like a queen. Like, you should not be settling for less, essentially. I feel like a lot of, not girls, women in this generation, because we are young women, a lot of young women in this generation are missing that. They are missing that a lot, and turning to things that they shouldn't be turning to, such as sex, drugs, alcohol, anything like coping method, kind of.
We're forgetting the plot.
Yeah. We're definitely forgetting the plot of how we should be treated. And I feel like a lot of young women are settling for less because they're not having that standard set from a young age as we should be.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, how is your relationship with your biological now?
I'm not gonna. When I was younger, I was definitely daddy's princess.
Mm-hmm.
But growing older, you see a lot of things differently. Of like, when I was younger, I was spoiled, and I got this, I got that. But essentially, it's not all that I should have been getting from him. Mm-hmm. So I've definitely gotten that more from my dad that came into my life. Mm-hmm.
I like that.
To piggyback off of that, I would say like somewhat of the same thing. my dad was present in my life, but we just had a really like complicated relationship. I was definitely more closer with my mom, especially like after the divorce and I fully like went to go live with her. We like basically stopped communication at one point. But growing up, he definitely did pour those things into me that she said, you know, she didn't really experience as much as a younger girl. For me, my father definitely did pour a lot into me when my parents were together. But I will say, like, with him pouring that stuff into me, he kind of contradicted himself because he was still obtaining that lifestyle he was telling me not to entertain, if that makes sense. So as like, you know, a man should treat you like this, or, you know, he should court to you, shouldn't be pulling up to your house all these late hours of the night and whatever, taking you out, opening doors, flowers, all that stuff. Like growing up, I definitely felt like daddy's princess. But you know, once my parents divorced and he was dealing with his own emotions and actually like, you know, scoping the scenery out to find love, I definitely think we lost the plot. Essentially. We lost the plot. And I feel like with me getting closer to my mom and her opening up about their marriage and how she was treated throughout her marriage and throughout the divorce also caused me to have a bit of a vendetta against my dad at one point. We good now. We cool now. But I did go through a little phase where like daddy issues was daddy issues. So it's like, I get it. I understand. But it's like, now it just comes to a point of like taking accountability, having patience to communicate. So it's like, now that we've, you know, communicated about it and we've talked about it, and he still pours those same things into me today, I'm able to like stand on business. But it was a lot to like trying to come from that, if that makes sense, like trying coming back from that, because it was weird for a minute, especially like seeing him prioritize other women over our relationship. It definitely causes you to be like, dang. But yeah.
Can I piggyback off the vendetta?
Mm-hmm.
I very much can like agree with that, and I feel like even now to this day, I still do resent my dad for how he treated my mom.
Facts.
I really do, because it's just like, yes, you never preached that into me, or like how Morgan said that her dad spoke into her from a young age, even though I never got that. I just feel like my dad he never took accountability for how he treated my mom and how I looked at that growing up, and that had an effect on me. He's not very, I feel like he kind of battles with accountability, so that's why I do still kind of resent him. We do have a relationship. Yeah. We're just not as close as we used to be.
And that's real, because it's the same thing. My dad till this day still does not take accountability for the things he's done in my mom's marriage. Or in their marriage and the divorce. Right. So I do feel like that also still plays a part. Like I said, we have a relationship, we cool, but like it's not gonna be what it was when we were young. So it's like, I definitely understand where she's coming from when she says that, because it's still the whole, she did this and she did that and she told you that, because it didn't even go down like that. Like
same exact thing.
Oh, you're thinking.
I actually had a question. Y'all know, or like any friends that have daddy issues, and like how they?
Yes,
like
and a lot of my aunts also do. Like my mom, I really feel like it's generational. I mean, it's crazy to say, but it is generational. Like I come from a family of independent women. A lot of them are single. My mom is single. Her sister's single. TT was single for a minute before she passed away. And then, you know, Derry came in. But it's like, it's the same pattern. I don't think any of my aunts are married.
No, I definitely have dealt with women that have daddy issues. And the common denominator I see with a lot of them that have those issues is they hate men. It seems like it's like even though they with a man, they be
essentially,
like when it comes to like either biases or just down in them. But then I'm like, yeah, you feel these things towards them, but like, why gotta be everybody though? Like, cause you saying every dude like this, every dude like that, or having that like certain bias towards men, but then also like, I'm a man. Like, what's going on? Like,
I definitely think it clouds our judgment. Our experiences definitely clouds our judgment.
Like when you see one little thing that looks familiar,
you out of there. It's like, I don't even want to deal with it.
You gotta go.
You're not willing to give it a chance because of what you've been through.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I think sometimes they'll think that this is something that they think that they already experienced before, but this is not that. Like I'm not. That's not what this is. But I can see how, like now that you mentioned that, that's how that kind of plays in the head.
It's like the moment you see something that's familiar,
it's like you don't even
fight or flight kicks in.
Exactly.
Immediately.
I mean, but
you want to speak on this subject?
Yes, we haven't been talking over you, girl.
If you're comfortable.
Yes. Yes. I am a girl that has come from a household of two dads. I have two dads. I am not going to say that my relationship with my biological father is terrible, because it's not. I check on him. We have talks. But I do also feel like, in a sense, I always say, like, not to upset anybody or anything, but I always say that my biological dad, he is my father. And that I have a dad who is my dad. I do feel like sometimes when it comes down to certain things, I feel like in my situation, like some dads feel like as long as I pay for this and I pay for that, that's okay. That's essentially like what I have always been told my whole life, is that a girl's first love is always their dad. And just because you're giving me the money, you might have paid for this, you might have paid for that, you might have gave my mom a little money here and there. What about the talks? What about the I'm beautifuls? What about when I'm crying? What about the hugs?
It does.
The money doesn't substitute your presence.
It's all materialistic.
And so essentially, I feel like, y'all know my situation. In my past relationship, I feel like I settled for the things that sounded good instead of seeing what's actually in my face. Like with Ron, my dad, I'm beautiful every single day. He opens the door for me. When I'm sad, he's talking to me. When I'm into it, my mama, he's talking to me. Like those little things really do matter. That really does matter, because when you get into a relationship and you see this boy, you're just listening to what sounds good, but his actions aren't really mattering to you, because
so you end up settling.
So you settle for less because you've never experienced that before. And I feel like that does play a big part in the relationships today. Like I have friends that, oh, well, he buys me this, so he's like a great boyfriend.
Yes.
He literally just told you to shut the F up talking to him. What are you talking about?
He literally just said,
like, he literally just said, go do you. He literally, like,
what are you blinded by materialistic things.
Like, it's honestly, it's all in your face. You're just, like, blinded by it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, essentially, like, I used to feel like, well, maybe that's just gonna be it for me. Like, that's what I excuse the behavior, because I feel like, okay, maybe that's just what I'm gonna have at this point.
Yeah,
like,
you just settle.
It's nothing really better out there. I just settle for the lesser part of it. But there is always a greater come up in the end. There's always somebody greater. The grass is always greener for you.
And I guess something I would say to people, women or anybody with certain issues with another person is don't ever let how somebody treats you change how you treat other people.
That's a good one.
And I say that, I mean, like, because if you do, then you're no different from that person. So when you're going through like situations and you feel like you got hurt and then certain stuff happened, and then you go on to go do something similar to somebody else, you mad at that person who did that to you, but now you continuing the cycle and it's never ending. And now you upset with them, but now you showing the same thing. So it's like, when you going through that, or just be mindful of what's happening and think about the decisions that come from that, because people can hurt you, and you can it's different ways you can handle that. Now you can go on to be bitter and do it to other people, but then like you can't complain that it happened to you if you're gonna continue the cycle. Have it stop with you. And that applies to like the issues with not just daddy issues, but like with other relationships, men, all this stuff, because I feel like a lot of it is just, it's like a chain. Like we all, it's all connected. This person, like either the mom in the situation with the daddy issues, they probably got conflict with each other. Then you have the daughter or the child in the situation had the problem with the dad, and then the person, the kid who has the problem with the dad, going in a different relationship, then they have a problem, then depending on who they mess with, it continues. So I would say, like, just be mindful.
Yes, for sure.
What are some of the things, as a young man, what are some of the things you've been told as far as how you treat women and stuff like that? What was some of the things you were told growing up?
Oh, open the door for her, make sure she all right. Check on her, take care of her, and there's more little details to each of those that I'm saying, but just for the sake of time. But
I'm only asking because for the people that's watching, so they can kind of get a perspective of who you are and
oh yeah. Yeah, you've seen the other episodes, y'all know. No, don't. But just be a gentleman.
Don't type it.
And just take care of yourself, so that in order for you to take care of the person you want to be with too. That's the main thing.
Self-love is very important. You
You
can't love if you don't have it.
Yeah,
within
and
yourself.
don't get confused, because I think a lot of people. Oh, what was the word? What's the word? Yeah, self-love or self-care don't mean that you neglect all other people. You can have self-love by surrounding yourself around good people. That's self-love too. You can have self-love by getting away from people. That's self-love too. So self-love don't just mean like neglect everybody else. So
Run.
And I want to just say something too. You be careful, especially you like men too, but be careful about like being there for people, because sometimes you can take on somebody else's problem and they will get what was supposed to be coming to you, and you'll miss what's supposed to happen for you because you too busy trying to be there for them, and you done blocked your own self.
Yes.
And they done took it and ran with it.
Yes.
So you got to be careful in those type of things. Sometimes your friend can be a little more weight than you able to bear. And you start taking on their stuff, and the next thing you know, you tired.
Yeah.
You ain't even got a situation, but you took on their situation. And now they smiling and they moving on because
you're literally pouring life into them, but you're like draining yourself of it.
You're blocking your blessings trying to help the other person see the light.
Yes.
Yeah, well, just one thing to remember: if don't help somebody who's not willing to help themselves, because then you're going out your way to do more than what they would even do for themselves. So what do you look like trying to do that for them, and they're not going to do that for
and
themselves?
It's like, if they wouldn't do it for themselves, what makes you think they would do it for you?
Exactly.
So we definitely got to be careful, and those things might, for those type of people, because we all need help from time to time.
Yeah.
It's not to help nobody, but just know when enough is enough. And because they might be dealing with daddy issues, they might be looking for validation, and some of those things we just can't help. We can listen and be an ear, but that's sometimes all we can do in those situations is just be an ear for them, someone that they can just vent to and not try to take on their issues. And you just can't do it, because like I said, it will drain you. And so I really love the daddy issues, the validation, and having more than one father, having a father, or whatever the case may be. I do want to say though, you have to forgive too. You got to learn how to forgive, because I am a young man. Yeah, I'm gonna say young man. I'm a young man who has took on the responsibility of children that wasn't biologically mine, right? But I love it. It ain't always been good. It ain't always been bad. But I ran into it and not from it. You know what I'm saying? That's something I always tell myself. I never ran from it. It's been ups, it's been down, it's been elevated, roller coaster ride. But I love it because I know that the children love me and I love them. So I wouldn't change it. It was just it was difficult time, because when you trying to be there for everybody, it's one of you, but it's 7 children.
Yeah.
And they don't always understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, because this one needs that one needs this. He don't say nothing to this person. You don't know what the hell I'm doing. Because when I'm in her room talking to her, he don't know it. And when I'm in his room talking to him, she don't know it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows. And it wasn't my job to tell you what the heck I'm doing. Because my job is to pour into each and every one of y'all in the way that you guys need it. And sometimes, like I said, I'm one person. My wife, she's one person. So it was just like, being able to maneuver throughout that and still doing it to this day. It's just a task that, there was no instruction book. So I didn't always make the right decisions. Sometimes I might have did things the wrong way. But the intentions were always for the good, So that's why I say, even with, you might not get what you wanted from your biological, and maybe it's because he didn't know how to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Some men just don't know. It's not an excuse neither. But they just don't know because they haven't been taught. But at the same time, you can't run from your responsibility either.
Exactly.
And you just can't, because now you make it more difficult for everybody else that's involved in the situation, because now they bearing more of the responsibility when we all should be sharing this, because we all play a role in everyone's life. So
yeah, when it comes to forgiveness, I think people have lost the plot. Essentially, I think forgiveness is more so about self-love. It's about you rather than you thinking it's about the other person. Because when you don't forgive or you hold those emotions, feelings within you, that's the part that lingers on to other people, I feel like. Because you're keeping that energy, that feeling, those whatever happened to you within you, and you carry it along to the other people. So when you having issues forgiving, I think it's more about like forgiving you. I think forgiving is more for you rather than you thinking it's for the other person, because of what I just said.
It is for you.
Yes, it is for you.
Because at some point, you're going to have children.
Yeah.
And you're going to make some mistakes. And you're going to want your children to forgive you. So you can't ask for forgiveness and not be willing to forgive.
Right.
It don't work that way.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because you're going to have some little nappy head kids and they're going to be like, yeah. You're going to make some mistakes and you're going to be, it just what goes around comes around. So just keep that in mind when you have children.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing that's going on in dating in today's society. Is like forgiving, not forgiving, and blaming. Yeah, it's a lot of people holding that grudges and then blaming other people, and it goes through like a cycle.
Carry on to the next relationship.
Yeah,
like I tell people. Change them sheets. Don't take them sheets into the next relationship. Don't take them problems and arguments into the next relationship. They don't belong there. They're in the past. But if you give life to them, then they will still be around. You just gotta learn how to let go.
Yeah, personally, I would say I'm very big on like coming into something with a new experience, because it's like you're doing not only yourself a disservice, but that person a disservice if you're coming in with old baggage or coming in with trauma, because it's like you basically are setting the tone for y'all's new connection. So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Now this has been a very, very, very serious topic, but I want to put you all on the spot.
Oh.
And
we ain't talking about this. We ain't discuss this.
And I want any one of you guys currently in a relationship?
See, we ain't discussed all this.
We're not. We're not in a relationship. I'm not in a relationship.
I'm not in a relationship.
Big single.
Mo, please. Come on, bruh.
Are you currently in a relationship?
No.
Mic drop. He was on nothing. I thought he was about to eat us all up. I was like, oh like, dang, just us three?
Right? Like, what?
I'm not in the field.
Now the next question is, why?
Are you looking at me? Okay, I'm gonna answer. I'll answer first.
Starting it, you know.
I'll start.
Okay.
I just feel like a part of it is from what I've seen from people that have been around me. Yes, it starts with your father. That was the very first thing. Like my mom and my biological dad's marriage. That was the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
That already, you know, growing up and then seeing everybody around me, friends, family members, you know, I've seen a lot of failed marriages. I've seen a lot of good ones too.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like failed marriages, failed relationships, seeing my friends go through different things, it's just made me very guarded. I've been not in a relationship, but like a situation where that has caused me to be very guarded moving forward. Something that I'm working on, but, you know, still very guarded.
Relationship.
Yes, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. Kenzie?
I am not in a relationship because honestly, like, I just don't think I'm all the way there yet. Like, I went through my own little type of situation and that was a very hard time for me. I went through a lot of emotions. Like Ronald said, it was very hard for me to let that go and to forgive and just move on to the next. And I feel like right now, I'm not ready for all that. Like, I'm still just not in the sense where I can be like, let me just leave that back there. Like, just because they did it don't mean you will do it. I'm not personally there yet. Yeah. And like y'all said, I don't want to put the next person's damage onto another person. But I'm getting there. Like, I'm getting there. Progress. But yes, definitely work in progress. But that's why I'm not in a relationship, because I'm just honestly not all the way ready for all that yet.
Right.
Nobody qualified for my program. I'm like, no, but if I'm gonna be for real, that is the thesis. If I'm gonna be real, I just feel like daddy issues does play a part. Okay. There was a time where I was pretty lackadaisical. I didn't care. I didn't really have a lot of set boundaries. I was pretty casual, if you may. But I do feel like now that I am standing my ground, and now that I am, like, you know, not even on the cusp, but I'm just like in that mindset where it's like, okay, we not getting no younger. It comes a time where, like, you know, I'm looking for my person. Essentially, I'm looking for somebody that's able to provide the things I'm asking for. And if that's such a struggle to you, then please get on, essentially. And I just don't think anybody has been able to, like, meet those standards yet. So I think that's why I'm not in a relationship. I don't even want to sit here and say I'm not ready, because I'm ready for whatever comes. Honestly.
You're ready with the right situation.
If that's the right time, that's the right situation, and it sounds like music to my ears, I'm ready. Like, I don't want to sit here and say that I'm guarded, because there was a time where there was a time where I genuinely was not looking for anything. Like, I was just wanting to have fun, but that time is up. Okay. So it's like, yeah, I just don't think anybody has met the standards I'm looking for at the moment.
I agree with that too. I feel like the way that, especially like, well, y'all know me, I ain't gonna put my business out there. Y'all know me, like, I feel like these days, the expectations of things that are supposed to go down, how things are supposed to play out, what you're supposed to do, me and a lot of boys do not see eye to eye on that. And I grew up with brothers, so I be looking at them like, I'm finna call my brother right now.
It all boils down to that same saying that we always say, I'm gonna keep it clean though. If he wanted to, he would.
Thank you.
And it's like, I feel like if you're setting standards and boundaries for a guy and he's not meeting those, but he would if he genuinely had the eagerness and had that drive.
Yep.
He's just not. Go find you a new one.
Yes, essentially, we just don't be on the same page.
Yeah. Like, I'm just not on the same, we don't be on the same page. And I also feel like that also falls into the original question you asked, just with our generation, things being complicated, what we see in the media, it doesn't align with the same standards and boundaries that we set as young women. So, of course, a relationship right now is just probably not going to work.
Why are you not in a relationship? Because I want to say something when we finish.
Right now, I have a goal I'm trying to get to, and I'm doing certain things to help me get there. So I got a purpose that I'm following, and along that path, you know what I'm saying, when the time is right, or when I run into somebody, you know what I'm saying, that'll happen, you know what I'm saying? But right now, I think that what has been happening is I'm on this path, and sometimes people come along, and what I realize is they come along, I'm really getting lessons from each situation that is helping me determine like who I want to be with at the end. Like sometimes I might be dealing with somebody, and for a certain amount of time, and I start to realize like, okay, if I want to live this way in the future, or want to live that type of style, I know that either this is something that I would want in the woman that I decide to be with at the end, or this is something I can't do with the person I'm going to be with, or just a certain kind of like her with the standards type of thing. Like and being on the same page. If I see that we're not on the same page, or we don't hold the same values, or like you got no morals or whatnot, I'm not going to down you or none of that stuff. But I know that this is not going to be something that's going to be long. It's not going to be.
You're just not going to work for me.
Yeah.
You're just not a part of his program.
But like, nah, we not. Yeah. So
not a part of the program.
That's what I've been seeing and realizing. So I'm not never looking for no relationship really. Yeah. I'm just trying to move towards that, what I think is my purpose. And then along that way, I'll run into like different women that I deal with, or, you know, just different situations. But right now, that's not in the picture right now.
Yeah. I feel like people should be adding to you, not taking away.
Yeah.
So if you're not coming in this, you know,
trying to build,
exactly,
then I'm not really.
Then it's not something I want to.
Yeah, because the moment you start taking me away from what I feel like is my purpose, you become a distraction.
Exactly.
Yep, exactly.
And I like to steer away from distraction.
And all falls into just not being on the same page.
Yeah.
See, because I'm gonna say this, I feel like Ron Easy stock is very high. He ain't got a lot of bodies. He very mature. He take care of his business. He's in shape. He works out. So you young ladies out there,
oh my God,
y'all got somebody.
It's free promo for Ron Easy.
Y'all have y'all talk all these issues.
I'm talking about free
promo
for the bros. I'm telling you.
Yeah, y'all better be on the.
All right. Okay, Ronald said calm down.
All right. Ladies.
Good young man.
If you're trying to build.
Yeah. Now, our last but not least topic. Double standards, male versus female. What do you guys see as far as double standards when it comes to men and women?
Let me go first.
She wanted this one.
Take the lead. I want to talk about this one. I feel like the double standards between men and women these days are actually ridiculous on both parts.
Yes.
On both parts, it's simply just ridiculous, especially with the people our age and our generation. Like, it's absolutely insane. I feel like these days, especially because our whole topic is like about dating, especially these days when it comes to dating, boys have a certain image of how they get to act and what they get to do and claim it's not okay when we do it. No, babe, that's not how this goes. You don't get to talk to multiple people and, oh, you a player, but when I do it, I'm a HOE. That's not what this is. If you get to have your fun, I get to have my fun too. Particularly for the boys that have more sex than the average female. You get to go out here and have your fun and do what you do, but when I do it, I have a label, but it's okay for you. Even certain topics that I talk about with my brothers, certain things that are okay for y'all to do, y'all feel like as women, we should hold ourselves to higher standards, higher moral value. But why shouldn't y'all have to do the same is the question. Y'all expect us to perform with the higher ups, but y'all don't do that either. And it's when it comes to the women, You do certain things. You want your man to do certain things you don't even do. You go and you want a man that's going to build your house, fix your car, pay your bills. And you call yourself being a cougar. You're 30 years old talking to this 21-year-old boy. You don't get to do that either. That's just like a double standard to me. Like, I just feel like if it's okay for one gender to do it, it should be okay for the next. Does that make it right? Absolutely not. But everything should be fair ground.
Well, let me speak on that because I hear where you're coming from. I agree to a certain extent. It's because he doesn't have any self-control and self-respect doesn't mean a woman shouldn't have self-control and self-respect.
Right.
I just gave you an example of a young man who doesn't do that. You know your brother. Mm-hmm. You know he ain't out here slaying. You know that. He really want a real relationship.
Yeah.
So, and your other brother, Trey, he's not out here slaying and doing all that. You know what I'm saying? Ty? Question mark.
I'm just gonna say that.
We're gonna leave that right there.
Yeah, Ty got us straight.
But at the same time, we know Ty, if there's a certain woman, he will
settle down.
He'll
settle down, yes.
He will do that. So you know, mm-hmm. You got it. You've been around it. You know what I'm saying? You've been around men, young men, who have self-control and don't carry themselves in that way. It's all about what we willing to accept, what we looking for. Mm-hmm. You don't have to deal with that when you deal with someone who don't put himself out there like that. Mm-hmm. And that goes back to what we were talking about before, when you have a young man who really sees the world in you and wants to be with you, and then you kind of, and then you run to that and be mad about how he's conducting himself when you could have had what you said you wanted. Mm-hmm. But, you know, so I think all that, and I agree with you because it is a double standard. Not saying that it's not. But at the same time, we have to be careful about what we choose to give ourselves to. Because that's what we're going to have to deal with, whatever the choice is. Because nobody's fortunate. We always have a choice. So be mindful of those things when we are here choosing the wrong thing. You know, because all three of y'all are beautiful women. All three of y'all have a choice in whatever it is that you want to do and what you want and who you want to be with. So be careful because 9 times out of 10, you know what you're getting into before you get into it. Mm-hmm. So be willing to deal with those circumstances when you make the choice to be with that person.
Absolutely.
You know, so. What do you want? Who want to go on the double standard?
I would say I'm conflicted when it comes to double standards. Because like I feel so passionately about them, but I also do like, oh, don't cancel me. I also do agree with certain double standards, if that makes sense. I do too. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's just.
What double standards though? You can't just say that and then don't expound on it. We
getting into it.
Us need to know exactly what double standards you're talking about.
Okay, so like, nothing crazy, but like more into like, I guess you could call it cliche. The more cliche factor, like, you know, a man should be protective. A man should be provider. A man should be like, you're not looking for that in a woman. I don't expect a woman to have all that together, but I do expect you to be able to add to your man. Mm-hmm. So it's like stuff like that. But as for like the whole lock and key analogy, virginity, all that stuff, I don't agree with. Like, I do feel like if virginity is going to be sacred, it needs to be sacred across the whole board, across all genders, because at the end of the day, your body is a temple. It doesn't matter what man you are, what girl you are, that all falls under the same book. God doesn't look at us like, oh, she's a girl, she's a guy. It doesn't matter. No, we're still all children of God. So I feel like with that case, yes. But like I said, like it's just contradictory because some double standards I be like, no shade, I kind of agree with that. I'm not taking on the trash. Yeah. I agree with some things, but like
You're not taking out the trash, but if no one's here,
yeah,
that's different. That's real.
Because I take out the trash at home
and still take out the trash.
But do you see these nails? Like, I get it. Like, I get it. I get it.
But no, I definitely, like, me and him had these, like, we with all that.
Yeah.
Trash. Me and him. So
but that, like, stuff like that, okay. Like, I agree.
Yeah.
But, back to what I was saying, like the lock and key analogy, like, oh, like, you know, you wouldn't go around like this key can unlock one lock, but then this lock, whatever it is. I don't agree with that. I feel like if you're going to be out there as a man and it's not right for women, you shouldn't be out there as a man. Point blank, period. If you're going to frown upon women that do that, then you don't need to be partaking in those same activities. Yeah. Period. It shouldn't have to be excused because, oh, he's a guy. Boys will be boys. I hate when people say that. Because just because he's a boy, that means he's a wild animal? No. Point blank, period. I don't care.
I agree with that. What you think about that?
I definitely agree. Okay. I feel like, and this goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning, as far as like what we're looking at and what we're seeing. I feel like men listen to certain things, women listen to certain things. It makes them act certain ways, and now we're just going tit for tat. Well, you did this to me, or you was out here acting like that. You did that to me. Well, I'm gonna act like that too. I feel like it just turns into a game of going back and forth.
That's a little voice in a man body. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Accountability is something that a lot of people just, you know, it just got lost in the sauce.
Accountability.
Yeah. That's something I've been really good at doing because I know I have to. My wife be like, I can't wrestle with you when I'm wrong.
I really do. I really do think accountability plays a huge part in these relationships. Just being able to humble yourself and come down and just say, you know what, I'm sorry.
But this is the thing, though. I'm not going to take accountability. And next week we talking about it again.
Exactly.
Facts.
That's the thing.
It just needs to be water under the bridge after that. No, I agree.
Because it's gonna come. Accountability gonna knock on your door too.
Absolutely.
And you don't want me to hit you upside your head with accountability all day and all night. So
that's
just
real.
Be accepting, and let's figure out how we don't have to go through this again. Because we're gonna have problem after problem after problem. It's about how do we get through it without tearing up the house and each other's egos and all that playing a role in getting over whatever it is.
That pride, putting that pride to the side.
Yeah. You want to expound on that?
Yeah, I'm having issues with that right now.
Because he over here.
Double standards. So we talking like double standards as in like in a relationship, one person doing this something and then the other person not being able to do that same thing and be the same.
Well, looked at as being like if a man, he having multiple women, but then a woman do it. Yeah. You know, he get a trophy.
He get cheered on.
A woman get called everything but a woman of God.
Exactly.
It's kind of that like that.
I mean, I guess there is double standards and whatnot, but I say, you know, I think, I appreciate them because it's easier to point out when you don't want to have to deal with somebody. Like, if you see that they are like, if I'm trying to date somebody and I see they got double standards, then I don't have to deal with them. That makes it simpler. Or like, yeah. I mean, there's not really much to even expand on when it comes to the double standard. Because, like, are we saying, like, what about the double standards? Like, is it a bad thing, good thing? That's what we talking about.
I think it's a bad thing when it's a bad thing because it's not being fair. You know, I think men get away with a lot of things that is frowned upon when it comes to women. Even though I don't want a woman, I wouldn't want a woman out here doing the same things men do. But sometimes men don't understand why some of these women are doing it. A lot of these women have been sexually assaulted as a young girl, and they've been through a lot of trauma. So they haven't been taught how to even carry themselves like a lady. So then when you on top of that, then you calling her everything outside of her name, it just doesn't help because you just don't know what a person's been through.
If anything, it enhances the behavior. If you ask me.
Yeah.
Most
of the time, a lot of women that's out there like that, they've been in some serious situations that a lot of men wouldn't even know how to deal with.
Exactly.
And men have too, but they won't talk about it because they shame and they don't want to be looked at as, you know.
But that also falls into the whole category of just double standards, period.
Yeah.
Why are women being catered to more when it comes to a very traumatic experience as such? But men are just kind of like, oh, dust it off, you'll be okay, you're a man. You know, like it also falls into
a lot of men, I would say, a lot of men don't know about other men having these type of situations. They don't speak on it. You know, they're not going to speak on it. They're not. Yeah. It's more women will, and some women don't speak on it. But men, they don't want to speak on it. If they've been sexually molested or something like that as a young man, they less likely to speak on that.
And why do you think that is? Why do you think women are a lot more vocal with those experiences than men are? Like, is it something that's
because
like degrading of a man?
Because I feel like men have been taught
because they think they're gonna get clowned or something.
Yeah, men. I think they're being soft in a sense. Like I was just about to say that. Yeah.
But again, falls into double standards.
Or sometimes
tap into that feminine side. It's okay. Like, it's
but
okay
a lot of men were taught
issues.
from a young age. You know, expressing yourself is soft. You shouldn't cry. Yeah, that's a women thing. You're about your girly if you do double stuff like that. They've been taught that from a child, so they grow up. It is a double standard.
But I think it's a part of
okay.
Go ahead. No,
I thought about it. The whole double standard thing. I think double standards are double standards because of the majority of how people see each thing. Like men and women on both sides. I think, like we were saying earlier about how women sometimes go towards the bad boy or the good and don't go towards the good guy. I think a lot of times, majority of people, like I would say on social media, they glorify the bad thing, or like you say the man out here messing with a bunch of women, and you know, I think more people glorify that rather than if a woman went out there and did a bunch with a bunch of different people. I think we had the double standard because when stuff like that happens, it's more glorified in like society, one side than the other. And that's coming from men and women because women still do mess with the people that have, you know, go out doing a lot of this stuff and have a mess with multiple women. So that when other people see that, they think, oh, that must be like what's hip. And I think that it trails on. Like if you see a dude who messes with a bunch of people and more girls go track towards him, then you think that's, you know what I'm saying, that's what girls like. And then the other person see it, and then it's just something that continues and it becomes that double standard because then when a woman goes and does it, and it's the public or the majority of men and women on both sides are going to call her this, that, and other because in society, even like in regular day life, people are going to shy away from messing with that woman rather than how when the men did it, people went towards him. So that's why it's going on. Yeah. Even with what was the other double standard you just brought up? I forgot what did you said. Because we had the one with the sleeping with people, and then there was another one.
I got a question. Was it the perverted? I got a question for all you young ladies. Can y'all cook?
Yes.
I know a little some.
Girl, Mo is playing. Mo is playing. She can cook, y'all. I don't know why she. I don't even know why she even playing like that. Mo can cook.
Yeah, a little bit.
I can cook. I just don't have.
We working on that.
Yeah, we working on her. Yeah, we working on it.
Well, you know what I think you girls should do? Y'all should have a day, maybe a Sunday like today. Y'all come together either here or any one of your houses. And cook, you know, y'all say, hey, you make this, you make that, and you know. That'll be something, that's something like forward to each other.
Because usually I just be on cooking duty and they be on the
and we just, because I feel like cooking is her love language. It is.
I love that stuff. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's just
Cooking is a man's love language.
Yes, it's very nurturing. It's very
You have
nurturing.
spaghetti all on his shirt, all
But even at school, like when my ex-boyfriend at the time at school, like I was still up there making sure he was fed. Like that's a love language of mine for sure. So yeah.
I just asked that question because it's a very key relationship. Both,
Parties.
not just the one.
Yes.
Both
Sometimes you
sides.
put that responsibility solely on the woman.
Yeah.
And I did that for a while. I ain't gonna say that. Yeah, I did, and I
I was
did.
gonna say you be thrown down. So
Yeah,
what you
but
talking
it was a time when my wife was doing all the throwing down.
Right.
But it was a time when I cooked for the kids, and it's kind of shifted. But for the most part, throughout our relationship, she has done the majority of it. And it got to the point where she said, and I said, okay.
But yeah, my mom is always. She was always in the kitchen. Like it really wasn't until my parents' divorce that my dad started cooking. I mean, he always knew how to.
Yeah.
But mommy was cooking, and she could throw down.
Well,
Yes, I think it
we
is.
probably finna close this out, but I just want to say, man, I've learned a lot from all you guys, and I think it's important that people my age learn how to learn from the younger generation, because we always want to tell them what to do. We don't really listen. We can't, because we still, if you get on social media, you see people my age talking about relationships.
Yep.
Like I was saying last night, you half a century.
Yeah.
Still
Like I do, lately. And
Like, come on, we gotta get together at some point. Like, please.
If you're not in it by now,
Like, it's a little questionable now. Like, you didn't experience a lot of things. Like, you shouldn't want to. You don't want to get it together by now.
It's definitely questionable now because especially like you being 30, 40 years old, like what y'all had going on back then doesn't even mean the same these days. Like I've had to
40, 50 years
yes,
old.
like I sometimes I still have to tell mom like, Ma, I talked to this boy. Oh, you date this boy? No, I talk to this boy. Things mean different these days. Like back then for y'all dating, like you could if I said if I was your age, if I said I was dating this man, I could be dating multiple other people at the same time as well. These days, if I say, oh, I date him, that's my boyfriend.
That's your man.
That's my man. I'm not dating nobody else. That's just that. So it's like,
but I feel like our parents do look at it like that, because even my mom, she's like, at this age, like you should want to date different people, and it's like, no, mommy, like I want to get to know other people, because dating is like I'm all in with this one person.
Yeah,
getting to know is like you can get to know different people and see which one works best for you.
But
I can talk to multiple people.
Yeah. I will say though, I do hate that about a generation. Like I miss the spontaneous. I like spontaneous dates. That sounds fun. Like getting to know somebody, doing a little research, doing a little study, see what they like. Okay, cool. Plan this date for us. Let's go check it out. And getting to know them on that date, you find a new connection. Like I feel like that is beautiful, and I hate that our generation.
I honestly feel like we have honestly,
like I hate that our generation doesn't do that.
Yes, we have definitely lost the plot of courting. There is no courting inside the movies. To all you young men out there, the movies is not a date. The movies is not a date.
Going to the house is not a date, especially the first date.
And a lot of people complain about spending money. You don't even have to spend money to go on a date.
No, you don't have to
do a picnic.
Go to the park.
It's it's literally simple things.
You can go to the museum.
It's so much stuff you can do.
Yes. It's about having a nice, intimate setting to talk to somebody and actually get to know them. What do I know about you by you sitting next to me and we watching the movie? We not even talking. I'm not even looking at you.
But you gotta want to talk in the movies.
You have to want to do something.
You have to.
It's gotta be a movie that you both interested in seeing. Then it becomes a date, because then it's like
then we go to dinner.
Y'all conversating about it.
Different emotions together. Like
sometimes a man, and I know we want to go to the movie because it's something we want to see. We ain't really ready about it, just something you want to see. We really into the movie. And she's sitting there like
just bored.
You know what I'm saying? But if it's something both of y'all want to see, it becomes entertainment.
Because y'all experience.
Because now it starts good conversation.
Or he can cook for you. You say, "Come on over."
Even cooking dates,
that's nice.
It's literally so simple.
Like, you know how to.
It is simple.
It's literally simple.
We did.
Everybody thinks that date has to be so like just over the top. A date does not have to be over the top.
So in closing, if everybody want to just share something, please, and we can just go ahead and bring it to the end. I don't care who starts and who first.
Ronald, you start this time.
Yeah, we'll come this
Tay
way.
always start,
Closing.
and we come
Yeah.
through this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you
start?
closing the whole
Yes.
thing?
Okay.
Okay, one thing that I think this generation should do more of is get off the media. Stop paying attention so much to the media. Watch the things you listen to, artists, YouTube, literally anything in the media. Watch what you listen to. Don't be so easily influenced. Learn to just do things for yourself.
Yes.
That's what I have to say.
Dang, Tay, that's what I was gonna say. Okay. I'm gonna say one thing that I have to say is it's. How I'm gonna say this?
She's fine.
Yes. I'm gonna say it's okay to be different. It's okay to do things that your homegirl or your homeboy might not agree with or might not do. It's okay to stand out from the crowd, because I feel like a lot of the things that we do, like even the way we dress, how we talk, where we go, like we do it because it looks good to the outside people. It really doesn't matter what they think. Like back to what Ronald was saying, a lot of it stems from like even the ability to forgive. It stems from self-love. You really have to find that within, instead of seeking for everybody else to validate you, because if you don't believe it, why would you believe the next person? You don't even believe that about yourself. And that's what I have to say.
They just made really good points, so I'm not even going to piggyback. I'm just going to say this. Stand on business. Don't be afraid to stand on business at the end of the day. If somebody is not meeting your qualifications, somebody will down the road. Don't be afraid to turn somebody away, essentially. Like, and that goes for men and women. If you are setting standards, abide by those. And don't get lackadaisical, or don't try to condense your standards for anybody. Because somebody is probably, waiting down the road for you.
Yes. And don't be afraid to let somebody in just because it's something new for you.
Exactly. Don't be afraid of
Or
newness.
judging from past.
Don't be afraid of newness.
I ain't gonna say that.
Messy. Don't be afraid of newness, for sure.
I'm gonna keep it simple. This might sound cliche or whatnot. I know everybody heard it, but I'm gonna end off by saying, treat other people how you want to be treated. That's, I think, what a lot of this comes down to. When it comes to forgiveness, or like how you want somebody to act towards you, or love. Some people say they want unconditional love, but then they don't want to give it. So, treat other people how you want to be treated.
Real.
Oh, one more thing. If you guys want to, y'all can get the people, y'all social, your social media, your Instagram, if that's something y'all want to do.
And follow me at Morgan.Mikell, Mikelle. Thank you.
You can follow me at eraofken._.
Taylor Princess, PRNC.
No, I.
Thank
No
you.
I,
And double
no
Y.
I, double Y.
Double what's up?
Thank ya.
Thank you. And this has been one of the most beautiful episodes we've ever had. And we definitely going to have these young ladies back on the show.
Can't wait.
Why not?
Yes.